You are standing in the middle of a grocery store. Your toddler is screaming. People are staring at you. It feels like a daily battle of wills. You are exhausted from the constant negotiating and begging. You feel like a hostage to a 2-year-old's sudden mood swings. Modern society tells you this is completely normal. They call it the terrible twos. They say it is an unavoidable biological phase you just have to survive. But that is a complete lie. Think about the standard advice you constantly hear. Give them a timeout. Ignore the bad behavior. Assert your authority. This method is entirely broken. It prioritizes isolation over connection. Every time you push harder with standard discipline, you build a massive wall of resistance. You are not teaching them peace. You are actually training them to fight back and dig their heels in deeper. There is a completely different path. It comes from a 400-year-old Japanese philosophy called Itawari. This is not about forcing blind compliance or crushing your child's spirit. Itawari is the daily practice of proactive empathy and gentle consideration. It builds a silent, invisible understanding between you and your child. This approach diffuses the tension and stops the meltdown long before the first tear even falls. Do not skip ahead in this video. Pay close attention when we reach habit number 4. It is the exact reason your child currently ignores your instructions. In fact, it is likely the one specific thing your own parents taught you was good parenting. Let's fix it right now. Most modern parenting is entirely reactive. We wait for the scream to happen, and then we scramble to fix it. We function like firefighters rushing to a blazing house. The Japanese concept of Sassuru changes this entirely. Sassuru means anticipatory sensing. It means reading the air in the room. You do not wait for the meltdown. Instead, you look for the subtle pre-storm signals. Maybe your child starts rubbing their eyes. Maybe their stance shifts, or they become unusually quiet. The frictionless action here is simple. Adjust the environment before they even have to ask or complain. Lower the lights. Offer a drink of water. Remove the loud toy. You fix the spark before it becomes a forest fire. When the sparks do happen, we often treat toddler emotions as a nuisance. Stop crying. Use your words. Calm down. That behavior is not okay. Instead, we must apply the core principle of Itawari. This is about gentle consideration of their emotional state. When you feel the tension rising and a tantrum brewing, use a low voice reset. Do not shout over them. Do not demand they quiet down. Instead, immediately drop your voice to a bare whisper. This sudden drop in volume forces a shift in their sensory focus. They have to stop crying just to hear what you are saying. It de-escalates the room instantly without a single harsh word. Then we have the trap of hypocritical parenting. We constantly yell at our kids to stop yelling. We angrily demand that they calm down. This is the classic trap of saying one thing and doing another. The Japanese standard of Shitsuke completely rejects this. Shitsuke is often translated as discipline, but it actually means consistent modeling. It is about showing, not telling. If you want your child to put their blocks away calmly, do not just bark an order from the couch. The action you can use today is a 30-second silent demonstration. Walk over to the blocks. Quietly and peacefully, start putting them in the box for 30 seconds. Let them watch your calm energy. Only then do you gently invite them to join you. This brings us to the exact reason your child is ignoring you. We give too many verbal commands. Stop doing that. Put that away. Come over here. We bombard them with orders until they suffer from instruction fatigue. Their brains simply tune you out to protect their peace. We call this the Kyoiku gap. You bridge this gap with an action first. Transition. Stop relying on words. Use physical momentum instead. If it is time to leave the house, do not shout that it is time to put on shoes. Just walk to the door, sit down, and start putting on your own shoes. Hand them theirs without saying a word. Your quiet action creates a natural slipstream. They will instinctively follow your momentum without feeling bossed around. We must address the habit of instant gratification. When we are tired, we often hand over the tablet or the snack just to keep the peace. We think we are avoiding a scene, In reality, we are accidentally training them to use fussing as a highly effective tool. The Japanese counter this with Gaman. Gaman means quiet endurance or patience with dignity. You build this like a muscle. Start using the 1-minute wait technique today. Pick a low-stress moment when they want something non-essential, a specific toy or a small snack. Smile gently and ask them to wait for just 60 seconds while you finish a tiny task. This small daily dose of Gaman builds their tolerance for waiting. It proves to them that they can handle a slight delay without the world ending. Next principle has no direct English translation. That gap is entirely intentional. The word is Amae. Roughly translated, it means presuming upon another person's kindness. To a Western mind, this sounds unhealthy. We treat dependency as a problem. It is a flaw you must quickly fix. Modern society tells you to push your child toward independence immediately. The ultimate goal is always a child who can self-soothe and stand completely alone. The Japanese philosophy views this as entirely backwards. Amae does not create a spoiled or fragile child. It teaches one massive foundational truth before anything else. The world is highly predictable, and you are entirely safe inside it. You are not a mechanic rushing in to fix a broken machine during a crisis. You are a permanent, unshakable anchor. Your child never has to doubt your presence, because there is no doubt their nervous system completely powers down its defenses. Think about a tantrum at the purely neurological level. It is never manipulation. It is not just bad behavior. A tantrum is a nervous system trapped in total overwhelm with no map back to safety. Their internal alarm system triggered, and it found absolutely nothing to hold on to. Amae builds that anchor long before the alarm ever goes off. This directly attacks standard modern parenting advice. Think about sleep training. Think about the self-soothing debate. Think about the common rule to never pick them up every single time they cry. All of this rests on one massive assumption. We blindly believe that forcing a child to manage discomfort entirely alone builds resilience. This is a trap. The sequencing is entirely wrong. You cannot build real independence on a foundation of quiet anxiety. You are simply creating a child who looks independent on the outside. Inside, their nervous system is running a constant, exhausting program of low-level threat detection. That specific child is exactly one overstimulating afternoon away from a massive meltdown on the grocery store floor. Amae enforces a strict order. Unshakable trust comes first. Competence comes second. The micro-action you must take today is incredibly simple. For the next 7 days, do absolutely nothing when your child's emotions begin to rise. Do not talk to them. Do not try to redirect their attention. Do not attempt to fix the problem. Simply exist in the room and remain perfectly calm. Sit near them. Prove that you are not running away and you are not panicking. You are not fixing the emotion at all. You are just being the anchor. That single quiet action literally rewires what their nervous system expects from reality. A nervous system that expects total safety does not need to scream to find it. The final principle is called Naikan. It means deep self-reflection. You do not reflect on the child. You reflect entirely on yourself. This is where Japanese parenting completely breaks away from modern culture. Almost all standard advice focuses entirely on fixing the child. We obsess over gaining compliance and stopping bad behavior. We constantly search for new ways to reduce tantrums. Naikan asks a completely different question. What emotional environment am I personally building around this child every single day? That single question changes everything. Toddlers do not develop in a vacuum. They constantly absorb the patterns of the people around them. If you react to stress with panic, they learn panic. If you constantly rush, they feel constant pressure. Children do not study your words. They actively study your nervous system. This is a highly uncomfortable truth to admit. We are conditioned to search for quick external fixes. We buy better reward systems and enforce stricter routines. But the largest emotional trigger in your home is actually invisible. It is your own adult stress leaking into every single interaction. Think about a tired tone, a rushed morning routine, the constant multitasking, and endless phone checking. Individually, none of these seem dramatic. Together, they create a thick cloud of emotional static. Your child absorbs this static all day long. This is exactly why Naikan matters. It shifts your focus completely away from controlling the toddler. Instead, you focus on understanding the emotional climate surrounding the toddler. Most tantrums are never signs of a bad child. They are glaring alarms of an overloaded environment. Once you finally realize this, something surprising happens. Your parenting becomes instantly quieter. There is less correcting and far less arguing. The children do not magically become perfect. The emotional pressure surrounding them simply evaporates. The micro-action here is powerful because it forces discomfort. After your next difficult moment with your child, you must ask yourself 3 specific questions. Was my tone rushed? Did the room feel overwhelming? Did I actually model the exact calm I demanded from my child? You do not do this to create guilt. You do it to force pure awareness. A child can never learn emotional regulation from an adult who refuses to practice it. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these principles felt like the biggest wake-up call for your daily routine? Leave a comment below right now with your choice. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to join our growing community of parents. We are building lasting discipline through stillness, one quiet habit at a time.